just on vacation.
Not everyone that's in the prison that is guilty, but we have a university center criminal.
In the 5th century, a group of Germanic tribes originating from southern Poland ravaged through Europe, establishing kingdoms as far as Spain and North Africa. In the year 455, the Vandals, under the king Genseric, sacked the great idealized city of Rome, destroying statues, temples, public art, and buildings. The Vandals were branded as barbaric, with a taste for wanton destruction, and today, anyone who intentionally damages private or public property is called a vandal. I'm Shane. Welcome to another episode of Solutions, Answers from the People, simple solutions offered by St. Lucians. Soon after the statue of Sir John Compton was unveiled in Constitution Park, some parts of the monument were vandalized. Some people also saw the pedestrian-only redesigned park as a bypass for scooters and four-wheel drive vehicles between Labrie and Pioneer Streets. That was the latest in a long list of recent acts of vandalism of public property. We asked the people, what is your solution to the increase in vandalism of private and public property? Let's hit the streets and hear what the people had to say.
It hurts to see the level of embarrassment, what I will say, when it comes to this line. Because I myself, I am one of those persons who doesn't support this sort of behavior. Because again, to make it worse, after vandalizing these spots, these government property, different properties, the churches, you have people still loose out there doing this sort of behavior and nobody take it serious.
Putting them in jail, it doesn't stop it. I think a little more prayer.
Well, I think the people who buy in the copper, the scrap, they should have them to get a license, and before they ship, or make sure the person they buy it from, make sure they know where they're getting the scrap or thing for, because a lot of things happening now. Your air conditioned units, everything, the people just taking them, going to the church, and that's really bad.
What I really think is more securities and them kind of stuff you have to put around. More securities you need around.
Well, one of the solutions to this problem, I think we can install some more CCTVs around the place, make use of more information technology and stuff, or people be more vigilant of their properties, install alarms or whatever, And we as a community need to come together in some solidarity that we can assist others, because people cannot, pay attention to their own personal properties all the time. So I mean, if there's a collectivism in everything, then everyone benefits, It's a mutual understanding and mutual relationship,
Well, I think St. Lucians need to reassess their sense of pride in their country, and just be more patriotic. Instead of digging up stuff and stealing stuff and making everything for money and making money a big issue about everything, they need to reassess what is valuable to themselves, to their country, get better morals. That's it.
First of all, show appreciation. Appreciation for even the little things that you have at home. And if you can do that, then when you go out there, you wouldn't have a problem to take care of properties, especially what we'll call government property. And well, it must start in the school. We work with our students at the school. We make sure that they take care of the little things in the school, the chairs, the desks, and whatever. So when they leave school, this value already instilled in them, so they can take care of those outside there.
I would say you need more police supervision. I mean, to go around the village, the community, and see what's taking place a little more. You know what I mean? And if you want, you can have more police, community policing too. It's very relevant, for the society right now,
Okay, well, for that, for the vandalism, I think we should, what we have to do is beef up the intelligence system of the police force as well. And, if you beef up the force, it would mean that civilians would have to get involved as well, because you cannot, the two must work hand in hand to get the information that you want as well. But if we beef it up and we really organize our intelligence, that should help quite a bit in curbing the problem.
To me, more police, I rather more police. Like the thing that if you have camera, sometimes the fifth will not think of they have camera. they're not aware of camera and they'll still continue doing crime. Yeah, but if they're police will always there with them, patrolling everywhere. So then when the police there, they'll see they have police, they'll not do what they have to do.
I think we did ourselves a disservice when we vandalize public amenities. I don't know if our people have not realized we are the ones who pay for it, because when public facilities are vandalized, we have to find the money to put that facility back in order. And so my only appeal to all St. Lucians, let us take our country seriously. The monies we spend in public amenities, let us safeguard these amenities, because they're there for all of us. And irrespective of what you think, today you may think that you're young, especially if you're young and you are the ones involved in it. But later in life, when you get older and you need, let's say, a bus stop to shelter from the rain, to shelter from the elements, you will see the importance of not vandalizing public property. So I want to encourage all St. Lucians, especially young St. Lucians, to take public property as serious as they take their own personal property.
These were just some of the answers from the people. We'll take a break now. When we come back, more solutions. Welcome back to Solutions. We asked the people for a solution to deal with the increase in vandalism.
We all have to know what the government built is not the government owned, it's ours, it's our tax money. But then now we have to put measures in place for when somebody do this type of things. They know they have a maximum to pay or they have a penalty to pay. Unless you don't know you don't have a penalty to pay, you'll keep on doing the same kind of things. Because we have just been coming around and talking.
Well, I guess they'll have to put a security station right here, because St. Lucians, I don't know what's their problem. They just like littering and they don't appreciate anything. So I guess the best thing is to have a security station here.
I believe that the people need to be educated, have a more sense of national pride, and by extension, people should respect life and property. I believe so. And if that is done, then I think, and not just saying it, but it should start from the school. You see, where children at school, they break things, they destroy things like rulers and this kind of thing, so it starts from the school system, and then, hopefully, they'll grow up into it.
That's a very tough question, but right now I don't really believe there's anything much we can do in the country right now, because the economy is a bit kind of hard right now, you understand? So I mean, just have to look for work for the people and stuff like that. Yeah.
When you get work for them, a lot of them you get work, they don't want to work. You give them a job, they don't want to work. You understand? So it's up to the individual and what the individual want to do. This is our country, everybody have to work to beautify their country and make sure their country move up. We have a lot of people coming in, tourists coming in. We don't want to sell negativity. We want to sell the positive.
I think we should need stiffer penalties. We should have more police patrols. We should make no excuse for crime. Unemployment shouldn't be an excuse for vandalism. We need to honor the law, and that is it.
I think an increase of, like they ought to increase surveillance, put some more surveillance camera, especially in a Castries city. And even in your home, if you can afford, it's a good thing to put cameras at your home, because you might never know when somebody will target you or not.
We have laws. The laws are there. The problem is enforcement. And I feel if we were to enforce some of the laws that we have on the table, you understand? Enforce them to the fullest extent, particularly when you interfere with the government property, state's property, and state's property is actually the property of the people. I feel that the hand of the law is supposed to come down on you twofold. Okay? So my solution to that is enforcement of the already existing legislation.
That was our first set of solutions. For our second question, you had a great idea for a business. You did all your market research and assessment, you put your facts together, registered a name, and prepared a business plan. All you needed now was startup capital. That was 6 years ago. You still have not started your business. We asked the people, what is your solution to make it easier to start a business in St. Lucia?
Yes, it is very difficult to start your own business in St. Lucia. Why? Because the banks, they make it really difficult for the sole proprietors to start off. Because when you have to look for a loan, to go for a loan and stuff, they ask you so many documents, so many different documents. And plus, when you start your own business, you have to pay the VAT, which is so high already. So it is very difficult, I must say.
Financially, when it comes to the banks, it's so hard to get a loan because a lot of people who were lucky enough to get it, they don't pay back. So now, the people who are serious about doing it, it's kind of difficult for them.
It's not really hard as long as you get the finance, you could do whatever you want to do, as long as you get the money. But without the money, you cannot do anything.
It's mind over matters. It's you that have to make up your mind and know what you want and what you want to do. You understand? So I don't think it is hard to make up your own business.
15, 20 years ago, it would have been easier, but not now for a young person to have, if they don't have a start or help, somebody to help them.
What I think should be done is a little more investment by people with money. It could be government, could be the private sector, because a lot of people, in order for them to start their own business, they need some kind of funds, some kind of support. The ideas are there, but they need some kind of support, some kind of management, some kind of funding.
You have an economy too hard right now. Things are going too slow. So there's no way you can start your business, huh? Right? With job going on, maybe something might come happening, but right now nothing happening. As you could see, everything is standstill. Nothing is going on. Construction dead. Economy going down. So it's hard, very, very hard. All right?
I think the bank loans are too high, interest rates are too high, and the government are too, well, what's the business all about? What you have is what you own. I don't think they should really put interest rates that much high.
Well, we have institutions like credit unions. This is the institution the ordinary people should be facing now. When you join a credit union, you become a member, and they will assist you to the best they can. Okay?
Maybe we can start with the banks being a little more sensitive towards the needs of poor people. And matter of fact, not even poor people, because some big people are bald right now too. So maybe the banks, the credit unions, and even the people, the proprietors, the owners of businesses, can maybe put things in place to assist even the local workers who have an intention or an anticipation to be inclined, to be so inclined. You understand?
You must come with a plan and try to execute it, try to put your mind to it and see how best you could achieve your goal.
Well, what I can make it easier is give incentives to people who has ideas. Listen to what the young people give the young people courage so that they can be motivated to do new stuff.
You know, you have to think about why is it you're selling what you're selling? A business is selling some service. You're selling some good, you're selling some commodity, right? There has to be a demand for it. A lot of businesses, I think, don't do enough market research. They don't do enough to understand what the market is. Okay? On my creative side, I do in fact sell merchandise like my artwork and stuff like that. And to do that, you have to understand, well, what would motivate somebody to buy anything? Okay? So that is the first and foremost. One has to be very much aware of what the market demands. And once you understand that, you have to obviously develop a proposal, look at the numbers of financial viability, and then obviously try to seek out the necessary support.
Make it easier to start a business in St. Lucia is obviously, I think, the ease of doing business. A lot of young people have been urged to start up the business, but they don't necessarily have the experience or the information, what to do, where to go, what are the licenses, what are the agreements, what do you need. I think we need to look at organizing, and I know CEDU and some of the smaller institutions are actually doing that, preparing them for the world of business. But I think we need to look at access to capital is critical. Without capital, you can't start a business. I know the banks are making that very, very difficult for persons to be able to acquire money. It's cheaper to get a car for a loan for a car than to do a business. So I think that we need to look at that, prepare people, train them how to start off a business, what are the tools you need, get mentors for them, a little bit like the Junior Achievers, which I think is a great idea, by the way. Teamed up these people with people already established in business. But they can work with them and ensure that these people teach them what it is they need to do to start off with it. Access to capital is always an experience and knowledge and research of the business you want to do. I think too often people go into business without any kind of research of the market. Does the market require that business? How many businesses already exist? What do we need to do? What does not exist that I probably can have an advantage in the market? So I think a lot of these things that have to be considered.
More solutions coming up after this break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Solutions on Choice TV. We ask the people, what is your solution to make starting up a business easier in St. Lucia?
Well, I think the government should really put something in place to support the people of St. Lucia who wants to go into business, where probably you could get a loan or something via the government, that you could really start off a little business if you want to as a citizen of St. Lucia, a person who is born in St. Lucia. Government should really have something in place.
We need the support from the public, the support, because most of the local right now, they believe in investing in the foreign company, but for we, and the bank giving us a hard time to get a loan to start off. And while we start off, we have to get a good sum, and the patronage of the local, that's the biggest problem we have.
I think that I wouldn't want to say the government, but it still have to go down to the government. I think they should have something in place that if somebody wants to open a business out, they can have something that you can go to them and they can help you out with maybe half of your loan, 10% or 20% of your loan to start off a business, because it's still going to bring revenue to the country. And I mean, you would employ more people if you have a business. So it still boils down to the government to try to help the situation, what's going on right now.
No, it's not really hard to start a business, because once you get in the contact from different people, that could help you out to start a business, you could start a business, no matter what, if it's small or big, you start a business, Well,
I think they should loosen up in terms of the private sector, they should loosen up what the criteria are in terms of getting loans, especially private loans. That should the criteria and qualifications should be lowered, so you're not suffering the hardship, and that's why the businesses are closing. Because if you're going in the red, you're not going to keep, obviously you're not going to keep your business. So that would be my opinion on that.
Same tax reward that they give to the foreigners, I feel that's one of the main points that they should. Because the foreigners come in here and they always have these tax benefits, but as a local, there's none of that in place for us. So that's one of the main things that I feel that should do.
Your business is you. It's who you want to, how you want to make your business will grow with you. Now, people don't know that they need to spend money in business. They want to have a business, they don't want to pump money into the business. But you need to pump money into your business. Your advertisement is number one. And now nobody goes to look for you anywhere on yellow pages. They go to the net. It will be on Twitter, on Skype, on Facebook, on Linkopedia. Anywhere in the net you have to be. And if you doubt me, you check Smartito on the net. You will see who we are. So the best thing to do, I would advise all business people, is to be in the net. That's where the guests will find you. That's where the client will find you. That's where the people will see you. And from there, you can grow. But if you stay where you are, time will pass you.
Well, I guess the government will have to provide more jobs for us, so we can have a better income, so we can start a good business. Unless you're going to have jobs, how can you start a business? Without the government, nothing goes right. But if the government make an effort for us, then we can decide what to do. If you can open a farm, a shop, or whatever we feel like.
Ease of doing business, we are trying to bring them together. In fact, just on my way up here, I was talking to one of our people in Geneva to see how best we can put a program together to strengthen entrepreneurship. So we are hopeful. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later.
Okay, that's it from the streets today. The problem with starting a business is not from the lack of ideas. Now you cut all of those down to just the viable ideas, and there would be all kinds of small to medium businesses all over the place. The problem is getting the finance to start. Most people who want to start a business don't meet the requirements of the banks that would enable financing of their projects. One can argue that there are other avenues, like the Bell Fund and other organizations that help fund small businesses. But the mere existence of these confirms that there is a problem with the traditional lending institutions, commercial banks. Now, in 1794, Henri Gregoire coined the term vandalism to describe the destruction of works of art following the French Revolution and making reference to the sacking of Rome by the Vandals. The term quickly caught on and is still used today. Sections 456 to 465 of the St. Lucia Criminal Code Act No. 9 of 2004, in force as of 1st January 2005, addresses damages to private and public property. These include damage to fences and gates, trees in public parks, waterworks, waterways and reservoirs, utility poles, land, and even animals. These all carry fines up to $1,000 or prison terms up to 1 year. Now, more specifically, under Section 461 of the St. Lucia Criminal Code, which references damage to statues, monuments, or works of art, a person who intentionally or recklessly causes damage to anything kept for the purpose of art, literature, science, or curiosity in any public or private museum, gallery, or collection, or to any statue or monument in any place is liable on summary conviction to imprisonment for 1 year. Now that's rather lenient compared to laws in other countries. In Singapore, for instance, vandalism carries a heavier prison term plus up to 24 strokes with the cane on the naked buttocks. You won't sit for most of the prison term. Now, if that's not a deterrent to vandalism, I don't know what else will work. That's it for today. If you have something to say, we want to hear. Look out for the Choice TV crew for a chance to present your solution to the country. Now, if you have a burning question you want us to ask the people, we can do that too. Send us an email with your hot burning issue at solution@choice39.tv. That's SOLUCIAN @choice39.tv. Join us again next week for more solutions.
You have to start from the bottom. You have to start from the bottom, and then when you go to the bank, yes, I. When the bank give you coming back to the bottom, and then everything will be corrective. Adios.